This is a Hard Effect Network podcast. Find us at hardeffectstudios.com.au.
Welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a group of friends having a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I am. My name is John McLeish. I'll be the regular voice in your ear holes for the foreseeable future. And joining me today is the big tatted David Yang.
Good moment.
Good moment.
We live in moments. We live in moments, people.
Okay. And also Ricki Needs.
What's up? How you going?
Yeah, we're all right. So for people who are familiar with like the Hard Effect Network, you might recognize these two as being from the Australia Mania podcast. Where they talk about wrestling and large angry men being large and angry with each other.
Oh, so good. So many large angry men.
It's big season for us too.
Hell yeah, man.
Big season for us.
I hate to timestamp.
Not to timestamp it.
But it is WrestleMania weekend.
It is. That's when we're recording this.
It's all going down.
It's the day before WrestleMania, and we're all very excited for it.
Just to preface this, this is not a wrestling podcast.
No, this is not. This is not a
We're
wrestling
just
podcast.
wrestling friends.
Yeah. So, but if you want to hear them
and
mark
one of
out
us
about
is the
it,
owner of the company. What?
Yeah, and if you want to hear them mark out about it, please, go and check out the Australia Mania podcast.
Hey.
We're not gonna talk about that stuff here. We're gonna talk about some other things. And right off the bat, like this is a thing that I've been thinking about, like how, because it's something that affects me in my real life. How long between taking a shit and washing your hands and like all that, like doing all the hygienic stuff, right? And eating is socially acceptable.
Wait. So the question is.
So
I've just taken a shit.
Hang on. Let me bring in the anecdote.
All right, paint me a word picture.
Let me bring in the anecdote. Okay, like it'll be dinner time, and like people will be like, "Yo, like dinner's on the table," and I'm like, "It'll be on the table in like 5 minutes," and I'm like, "Great." But before I get that in me, I need to get something out of me, right? So I go and I take a shit, right? Uh-huh. And it's a quick shit, and it's a really good like one done, quick and clean.
Quick shit.
Just a clean pinch.
Just a clean pinch.
Just
clean pinch.
As in like a no wiper.
Like no.
Have you experienced
a one wiper?
Have you experienced the famed no wiper?
No. That's a blue unicorn, buddy.
No. Fellas.
We were discussing moments before we went on live. You were like, "Man, you're a hairy dude." I'm like, "Yeah," and that hair goes everywhere.
It does.
I
It
don't
really
experience.
No.
Anything close to a fucking clean a no wiper situation.
Yeah, no,
mate.
that's true. I'm a hairy man as well.
I have maintenance I got to do down there no matter what.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
This is such a blokes cast. I've had one.
Where's JJ?
Women have hairy assholes too. It's a thing.
Not the ones I've seen, mate.
It's a thing.
No, but they're well kept. Anyway, God damn it. No, we're not going down
Men can
that
have
route.
well kept hairy assholes as well.
Name a man that has a well kept hairy asshole.
The entire
that you've
bear
seen.
community. Okay.
Oh yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all I'm saying is I've experienced the famed no wiper. It does exist, but my God, do you not want to roll the dice on it?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm saying. But you can tell when you have a no wiper situation on your hands, right? Because the shit just flows, right? It just upon sitting down, it's the cleanest thing ever. You can feel it, and no wipers.
It's a clean
obviously,
pinch.
They're not sloppy, but they're the ones that are really solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the only one you can only trust the solid one.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's a life affirming shit.
Now, but
It
your
really
question is.
So you do that, and then you wipe, and you're fully hygienic. You're not just like a fucking animal, and you get it out, and then you get tucked into your food, right? You go, you wash your hands, you use soap, you do all the rest of it, right? So you're like, you've cleaned up, right? And then you go and eat dinner. Now, usually you're supposed to wash your hands before you eat anyway, so this is just sort of like, you've just added an extra step at this point, right? Before the washing the hands. So I was sitting there at the dinner table, and I'm like, but I just took a shit, you know what I mean? Like, is that socially, I don't know. How
You're in the perfect position there. Because the minute you wash your hands, that is the cleanest your hands will get.
Exactly.
From that point on, they're only going to get dirtier.
Now,
they're not going to get somehow cleaner after you've washed your hands. No matter what you did prior to that, taking your shit, pissing, whatever, your hands are as clean as they're ever going to get for that day.
Yeah.
At that moment. They're only going to get
How
dirtier.
thorough are you washing your hands? Like, describe your hand washing practice to me.
Me?
So you've just gotten out, you've wiped, right? Let's say you've done a 3 wiper, so let's say that there is a bit of there's a bit of trouble.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And you've gone into the bath and you've gone to wipe your hands.
I've had some pretty supremely sloppy shits. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but like okay,
Well,
does your hand wash protocol
Yeah.
is that predicated on how bad of a shit you've just had? So if
No.
I've just had a no wiper,
Well, okay, so it
I'm
depends.
obviously going to wash my hands, but I'm really not going to give it that much attention.
No,
it's going to be like
mine's
a
the same.
spritz of water and I'm just
For me, it's
And I'm
muscle.
like that.
Yeah, for me, it's muscle memory. Like for me, it's just sort of like I just
Dab
do
of
it.
the Panadol soap.
So
blah, blah, blah.
basically, I'm one down from a doctor, but one up from everybody else.
Oh, so you're really.
So I got trained
because
because
clean.
I got
Okay.
trained in like food safety. So like I'll get right in there. I get into like into my cuticles, between my fingers, up to my wrist.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
doctors will go up to the elbow, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going elbows deep in anything. So I feel like that's I might unnecessary. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm a filthy asshole. I don't know. But like I go up to the wrist. I feel because that's acceptable for food handling.
I'm the same. Look, because I've been in hospitality for nearly
Yeah.
9-10 years. Nearly, I think next year will be 10 years in hospitality. So yeah, I'm the same. My protocol. I have the same protocol. It's tap on first.
Yeah.
Who's
tap on
applying the soap first?
There are people who do.
Who applies soap
there are
first?
people who do it.
Americans.
So tap on first, then soap, scrub.
Oh,
hand
that has
wash.
to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Of course, the tap goes on first.
Yeah. So many people. You'll be surprised
Yeah.
how many people don't do that.
Bro, it's like standing up to wipe. Like you don't know that it's a thing until somebody tells you.
Wait, hold on a minute. Okay, actually, you know what? I wanted to discuss this and / I've been thinking about it endlessly for years.
Is this a front to back to front situation?
No, it's not even that. It's not even
Okay.
that. I just want to know how much do you stand up? Now, this is a podcast. It's so hard to illustrate, right? But what I'm saying is, obviously, we sit down and take shits. At least 90% of us do, right?
Yeah, huh?
But then when you get up, how far up are you standing to go and wipe?
So
right?
I go
Enough-
up.
Like,
enough-
I'm about a half squatter.
Yeah.
I'll get to about
just
here.
enough to get my hand back there.
Left
Like,
or right hand?
Between this, well, my toilet paper roller is currently on the right, so on the right.
Well, my toilet paper rolls on the left, but I still use my right
I'm
hand.
ambidextrous.
I'll reach over.
So
and
I'm very much a whichever side the toilet roll is on,
under or side.
to the side.
I've never met a person who goes under, or I've never met a bloke who goes under.
Yeah, well, that's just that because that invites the back to front.
That's what I'm
wipe.
saying. Yeah. Oh, I can't.
And
you can't do the back to front.
can't do the back to front
You
wipe,
can't do
man.
the back to
No.
front.
It's not good.
Yeah, I go front to back for sure.
Well, how much do you
like-
stand up though?
Okay, so that's okay.
I feel like
so just
me washing my hands is decided on how
Well,
far I have to stand up.
You got
right?
Yeah,
Like,
to stand up to the point where you haven't compromised the gap between your ass cheeks. You have to have that as wide as possible to get as much surface area.
Fuck, we've really hit the
Absolutely.
ground.
on the toilet
Pint Party,
paper,
haven't we?
because the minute if you stand all the way up, there's a there's a squishing situation there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you
True.
need more toilet paper to clean.
No one stands
That's
all the
it.
way up.
Yeah.
But some people, they don't even stand up. They just lean forward. Now, I don't trust people that lean forward.
Well, leaning forward is
I don't
like,
trust people that lean forward.
like I said, when I'm somewhere in between the lean forward and the squat because as long as I can get my hand between the seat and my cheeks, I'm good.
okay.
That's
So
all I need to do,
let me-
man.
let me-
I don't need to stand all the way
all I
up.
needed to hear was cheeks.
All right, Dave, let me paint you a word picture because this is a podcast. This is an audio format. It's like how to describe this.
fuck
I have
me.
a perfect sort of metaphor for this.
Uh-huh.
So
I love Pint Party.
you know old 70s.
Can we have a pop jar?
Yeah, whenever we pop each other.
whenever
yeah.
whenever.
So like car chases in 70s action movies, right? And there's always a scene where the car goes diagonal, like on two wheels.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's me.
Wait, so you lean sideways. Okay.
Yeah, dude,
Wait, are you
but
on
I'm
one
Interesting.
I'm on one cheek.
That's interesting.
Because here's the
That's
thing, right?
interesting.
Here's the thing, right? Because the friction, the dunny seat and my ass cheek keeps my cheeks separated while I wipe, so it allows for optimal wiping.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Going fully sideways.
I've never heard a bloke still
Interesting.
sit but lean sideways to
Interesting.
get the wipe
Hey,
situation.
this could change the world. Like if people started
You know
adopting
what?
this
Honestly,
shit.
I'm going to give it a crack.
Yeah, I
Pun
want.
intended,
Hey. All right, everyone, this weekend I'm gonna.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay, even
Here's the
better,
thing,
even better.
Because the way you described it sounds efficient to me. Because
Yeah.
you lean to one side, you've exposed, right?
Yeah.
The cheeks.
I feel
But
that
it maintains separation.
It maintains separation.
I feel this could end really badly because we're all getting really drunk on Monday,
Yeah,
one of us-
and there's one bathroom for all of us.
and there's one bathroom, but like either side of my toilet, there is a sink to one side and there is the shower to the other.
Oh yeah.
If you don't maintain that friction, you are either banging your head off my sink or you're banging your head off my shower.
Oh, I was thinking something different depending on where I lean. My God, the orientation. What if I'm not finished?
Dude,
right into the
dude,
sink.
You will not shit anywhere but inside of my toilet.
all I gotta say is leg placement is key.
I'm sure it is.
Oh wait, okay.
I
Now
know,
when
I
you
was talking
describe
like-
to me that are you like a dog
Like,
taking a piss?
No,
Or
no,
like
no.
one leg up.
No.
You maintain a wide stance, but then just lean.
Exactly. You maintain. Yeah, exactly. It's all in the hips.
Yep.
Right. You're not moving your legs at all. Right. Ideally, You might.
Oh,
you
so
might,
you're like, yeah, okay,
right.
all right,
and then you might get one of your knees involved just to give you a bit of a prop up while you're locked in position for the wipe. But like that's about it, right? You're not going any further than that. So you really shouldn't be getting your legs involved at all in the optimal. But like, yeah, when you are off your face on various narcotics, you might need to get a leg involved just to like give yourself a leg up.
Have I told you guys a story of my mate who described to me the speed shit? Where
No.
he didn't even have to sit down. He was that busting.
Oh
and it was a situation of as soon as the pants passed the threshold of his cheeks, but it was like the cleanest, like bullseye.
It was like a sniper rifle.
Like a sniper. Like he obviously was about to sit down,
Yeah.
but it was just, he could not continue to hold it, and it just went right out. And audibly, the sound of it hitting the water was first before the sound of his ass cheeks slapping the toilet seat. Right? Like that was, and he kind of sat and I was like, oh, I guess I'm kind of done. That was the troublemaker. I didn't really need to sit down.
I think we can tangent off here. Just not even much of a tangent, but just like, what is the worst situation on a toilet sitting down? Is it A, sitting down, especially in a public restroom, and you haven't noticed, but the minute you sit down, the seat is a bit wet, and you get that.
Oh, mate!
Or is it
just
after?
squirmed.
Or is it after that first drop, and a bit of water splashes up right fucking bullseye?
All right, hold on.
Like,
Let me touch on that really quickly.
What is a worse feeling?
As a half Asian, my country exists on bidets. I do enjoy the splash of water.
But I'm not. That's clean, nice, beautiful water. This is dirty.
Look,
toilet water.
This is Danny. Yeah, this is
I
this
get
is
it,
a
I get it.
splashback.
Okay, well,
for kids
depends.
at the pool.
Depends what's
splashback.
happened first, right?
Yeah.
Have I managed to have I peed in that period of time, or is it just
You may have.
right?
Yeah.
I might have.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. For me, contextual, but I do rate a bidet. I actually think bidets are extremely efficient, and
So do I.
Look, I'm sure that they're a fantastic experience, but I'm not talking.
You haven't used a bidet.
I haven't.
Seriously?
No.
Bro.
I've never-
Bro, you are missing
just
out
gonna-
on the cleanliest asshole you could
I'm
possibly
sure.
have.
I'm gonna throw this out there, okay?
I've never been in a
I think
place where a bidet
the
is.
way that we in the West clean our assholes is entirely barbaric, right?
Yeah,
It's
we're still
completely
existing in
and
like the
utterly
13th
barbaric,
century.
right? We're using bits of dead tree.
We're one step
and
away from
and
using
giving-
leaves.
We're fingering ourselves
We
with dead trees
genuinely
is
are.
what we
Yeah.
do in order to clean ourselves, right? Like a bidet, like the French and like the Chinese and the Japanese have just got it figured out, where it's like you just splish a bit of water and then you get a towel and you just go like pop, 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 right, just to get that little extra water off, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
You're fresh as fucking.
You're using the paper
That
to
being
wipe
said, though,
the water.
That being said, though, I think the Japanese have absolutely mastered this because they incorporate the bidet into the toilet.
No, but it for me, it's the sitting down and realizing the toilet seat's wet.
Yeah.
And not only is it wet, I like to also argue maybe it's just a bit warm too, right?
Yeah.
Because someone was literally just there, right? Because if the toilet seat's cold and it's wet, you can make an argument that it's like, maybe the ceiling was leaking, right? Maybe it was raining, right? Maybe the toilet seat splashed. But if it's warm and wet, and specifically if it's wet at the front, you're sitting there and you're going, well, this motherfucker clearly did not wipe off. And he has just trounced. He has just trounced it on his way out.
Or it's somebody who's just walked into a toilet and
true.
just pissed
Yeah,
on the
and
seat
just
instead of using the urinal that's
You
like
reckon?
right next
You
door.
reckon women have this problem? Are we the only ones sitting here going, why the fuck is this dumb motherfucker pissed on this?
No, no,
Once again,
apparently-
where is JJ? We need a woman's
Apparently, no.
perspective.
Apparently, it's true. Like, I mean, like my sister like goes to me sometimes. Like, you know, she can get away with it. She'll just like duck into the men's room instead of the women's room because it's like it can be fucking foul depending on
The
where you
women's
go.
room. I refuse to believe that a women's room can be worse than a men's room.
You've
can be.
you have never cleaned a pub toilet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. Like, yeah, you ever
It
clean
is-
a pub dunny? Like,
It is
oh.
trash, man.
in
Like-
women's rooms?
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
unreal.
it's pretty bad. It can get pretty bad.
I'm more or less thinking about like if I'm at the G, like let's call it like a public venue,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And not
Okay.
like a public toilet as in like the toilets you find at parks, but let's use the venue, right?
High
And go,
volume.
high masses, but still
Yeah.
rather maintained. The
Okay.
men's room would still look like absolute shit. The blokes just don't care, right? I've walked into some dunnies at the fucking G, and it's just been an absolute like. There's like
The
three
bomb-
toilets,
bomb
and
site.
the one on the far left is the one that's fucking clogged up because some bloke has just gone. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I need to let go of my bowels right now, but I ain't gonna flush, and it is piles sitting there.
Yeah, some people are.
And no other blokes looked at it. We've all just kind of looked at it because we're all men, just gone, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
For me, it's not.
But I argue you would not see that in a women's toilet.
That's not the issue. the issue when it comes to female versus male. So I used to work in a pub where I would have to go into the bathrooms at the end of the night. And this has happened before, where we closed the venue, forgot to check the female toilets. We're outside having a beer in the beer garden after knockoff, and all of a sudden the alarm is going off inside. We're like, what the fuck? And it's some woman who's passed out, is walking through the venue, just being like, where is everybody? So I would have to go into the female toilets at the end of the night and like just, knock and be like, anyone here? And then if no one, I'd go in and then like any glassware, I'd clean it up. It's not the state of the toilets, it's the state of everything around them.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like the mirrors,
is
toilet paper on the sinks.
Dude, there is just shit. Not shit, but like there is stuff. It's like, toilet paper just ran out of the roll onto the floor for no fucking reason. Broken glasses, broken bottles, makeup, just shit.
Yeah, you know what?
Like people like trying to repowder or like do what, I don't know the fuck women do, but just like the state, blokes' toilets, the state of the actual toilet. Fucking terrible.
No, but we have respect when it comes to urinals.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Urinals, you don't fuck with
I
urinal.
I love that unwritten
Don't
rule.
fuck with
Yeah,
urinal.
at worst with the urinal, there's like 1 or 2 drops underneath it, and it's like not that big of a
It's
deal.
not even that bad.
It's like a little bit of Dunny roll and you're fine.
I do love that unwritten rule that it just seems instinctual to all males, is that when you're at the urinal, you don't have a peek.
No, you look
don't
straight
have a
ahead.
peek. You look straight
ahead.
But it's like the unwritten, like you don't have to tell a bloke that.
No.
I have never been told by any of my parents, like when you go to urinal, don't look at them, don't look at the guy next to you. All right, just stare forward. Right, and it's just imparted, like, but it's the most beautiful thing.
Or if you have to, maintain eye contact up here. Just crane the
it's
neck
the
a little
most
bit.
beautiful thing. And like, even if it's a pub, and this is where it goes the step further. It's an absolutely crowded venue, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a selection of urinals, but they're not too spaced far apart.
Yeah.
Another unwritten bloke rule is every second one.
Yeah,
Every second one.
until they fill up. Then
Until
you
they
got no
fill
choice.
up.
Until
and
they
then-
fill up, and then it's like, okay, like maybe you'll wait a little bit, but then if it's like you really got to go, then all blokes go, all right, out of respect.
I mean, going back to the G argument at the MCG, there's no etiquette when it comes to every second one, because if you're going at like quarter time during the AFL, you have no choice.
Oh yeah.
You just have to go
But
between.
that's when where rule one really shows itself.
Yeah,
it's
just-
like no bloke is gonna
just
there's
stare-
no
Yeah, but
conversation. Whereas with girl toilet, like I know a bunch of girls who've like sent snaps in the bathrooms, and it's always like, oh, I've made a friend in the bathroom. Like, oh, I met this lovely girl. Oh my god, she's coming to my wedding, right? Because they all chit chat in the bathrooms, which I love. I love it. I think it's such a beautiful thing. I wish blokes were more like it. But when you go into the boys' room, it's dead silent. Like, no bloke is going to talk to another bloke in there unless you're washing hands and you've seen like he's wearing a Collingwood scarf and you're also wearing a Collingwood scarf. It's like, oh yeah, nice.
It's
Collingwood.
okay.
Nice Collingwood
So
scarf.
it's only ever happened to me once in a men's bathroom where a guy attempted to talk to me. And let me explain the situation. So I was in Adelaide at a fancy sort of restaurant with my family because it was like a wedding thing, right? And so I go into the bathroom, I'm taking a shit, right? And my girlfriend at the time calls me. Right, and I'm like, oh, it's my well, whatever. I'll just tell her real quick. Hey, look, I'm in the dunny. Can I like call you back in like 2 minutes?
Oh, true
right?
love.
And I answer the phone, and she starts screaming at me down the phone about something that happened at a party, right? Like, and it's my fault, and like I'm an asshole. And it's sort of like, well, hang on a minute. Like, I can't. I want to talk to you about this. This is important. And like this is like it's dumb teenager shit. This was when I was like fucking 14. But like it's dumb teenager shit. But at the time it seemed really important. And I was like, but listen, I can't talk to you about this right now because I'm taking a shit. Like, can you just like and I'm like trying to talk her down. And the whole time she's screaming so loud you can hear it in the bathroom, like through my phone. And this is like a little flip phone at the time, right? I'm not even on speaker and she's like screaming that loud. I come out of the dunny stall and I'm washing my hands after I hung up. Bloke steps out of the stall. He was one stall over. I didn't know. And he comes out and he looks at me and he's like on the edge of like losing his shit. And I could tell he wanted to talk to me about what was going down. And I just looked him square in the eye and I said, you say one fucking word, like just don't even say it. But I crossed the bathroom and like the second I crossed the threshold between bathroom and restaurant, before the door even closed, he was on the floor laughing. Like, and I respect it. Right, I respect it, but like, yeah, that's the one and only time it's ever happened.
Just to piggyback off that. So obviously, all right, well, I'll ask the question, what is your etiquette when it comes to you sitting in the toilet and the bloke next to you in the cubicle next to you has just let off a ripper fart? Now, what do?
I let
You
it
just,
go.
you just let
You
it go.
say
man.
nothing, right? You say nothing?
It happens.
I'm of the opposite belief.
Oh,
now,
God.
the other night went out to the movies with a couple of mates, right? One of them was telling me the story of how he just went to the bathroom just before we went in, right? And some bloke walks in with his kid, all right? The kid goes into the stall and the father goes into the urinal. And so my mate is in the stall himself, right? And he hears the father at the urinal just let out this absolute ripper, right? Let's down. Then there's silence for a bit, but then his kid perks up and goes, "Oh, ew, dad, ew." To which my mate explodes, goes, "All right, if the kid's gonna jump on it, I'm gonna jump on it." He comes out of the cubicle and like they're washing their hands at the basin, looks over him, just goes, "Mate, that was absolutely excellent." And then they both pop, right? Like a mutual respect. Like when one dude lets out a fart, it just seems so like so barbaric of our male brains to just go, "Yeah, dude." Nice. Like that's just our first. I know it's my first reaction when I hear a fart and I go, "That was pretty solid."
I
Sounded a bit wet, but mate,
I don't think
7 out of 10 for effort.
I don't think that's a bloke thing so much as it's an Australian thing. Like we just like bum and fart jokes. Like that's just our gimmick.
Well,
on the world stage.
when you're saying like you don't talk at the urinal, that must be a city thing. Because in the country, if you're in a country pub and it's Saturday night, you will make 3 friends at the urinal.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, but it won't be like how
No, like girls stand up, like they'll go to the bathroom and be like, "Oh my god."
I'm gonna paint you a little picture right now.
Go for it.
I'm at the urinal by myself, country pub. One guy comes in to the left me,
Now
one
does he?
guy
Oh, okay.
to the right. Yep. Yeah, he's not, mate. Yeah, not bad. Yours? Yeah, pretty good. Having a few? Yeah, just a couple with some mates. Yeah, that's good. That's it.
No. You're right. You're actually 100% right.
That is as simple as the conversation needs to be. Once you leave the urinal, then
You don't know the bloke.
No,
you don't
that's
know
it.
the bloke.
No,
You
but
don't know him from Adam after you've left the toilet.
But if you happen to pass him on the way to the bar or something, it'll just be like that little head nod, just like, yep. That's it. That's all it is. That is.
I love it.
That is every interaction I've had in a country pub urinal before. Like every single time. Just like, "How you going, mate? Yeah, not bad. How's you not? Good. Having a few?
Now
Yeah.
I kind of want to experience a urinal conversation.
Just come back home with me when I go.
I might
home
go
next.
to a chuka
And
one night.
We'll go out to one of the pubs I used to work at and fucking.
We'll just set it up too. Like I'll wait by the door, right? And then I'll watch a bloke walk in and be like, "All right, now it's my time to strike. I'm gonna go in and take a piss now."
You just want to make a friend. That is it. That is your one goal. Going back to fucking a chuka or some shit. Just be like, make one friend at the urinal. Life complete.
But to answer your question at the start of this conversation, Josh,
Yes.
I believe there is no time between taking a shit and washing your hands
No, like I
before you
said,
start eating.
your hands are the cleanest
Yeah.
they're gonna be. The second after you wash them, they can only get dirtier after that. So I don't believe there is any need for any sort of waiting period or whatever. Just take your shit, wash your hands, eat your food.
Yeah, all right. So it was just my like anxiety about the situation. No, that's good.
You're fine.
That's good. I'm feeling much better about
That's
that.
good.
Now. Cool.
That's good. You're fine.
But if we might change tack,
Yeah.
right, and go from talking about like buttholes and shits and pee to something a little bit more sophisticated like the royal family. Have you heard about what Prince Harry is talking about Fortnite?
Now, was he the one that married Meghan Markle?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they no longer together?
No, they're together.
They're still together?
Dude, they literally got
But every
married like
time
3
I
months
walk-
ago.
But every time I walk past,
Like,
like,
is she preggers or some shit?
Yeah, she is.
Hold on, but every
She's
time
having a baby.
I swear, but every time I'm at like Coles or
Are
Woolies
these
and I
those
walk
fucking
past the Women's Day.
Yeah, no, they're
the Women's
bullshit. They are
Day-
so full of fucking bullshit. Every story in them is fake.
It is.
Okay, look, that's all I want to know.
Dude,
That's all I wanna
it
know.
is the WWE of magazines.
Because I walk past the Women's Day and I look at it and I
top
go,
quality
hold on a minute.
storylines.
Did they
but,
not- Did they not
that's
just
all
have
it
like
is.
the wedding of the century? Like she's goddamn hot. What's he doing? Like, and then I read it and it's like she's no longer wearing her wedding ring. Like, why? Why is she not wearing a wedding ring?
Yeah, but here's the
anyway.
thing: if you dig into that story, what they use that headline, it's like clickbait for magazines.
Oh, they get me then.
dude.
They
When
get
you
me
get into
because
the
I can't stop
storyline-
thinking about it.
When
Yeah.
you get into the article, you realize, oh, she's not wearing her wedding ring because she's like filming a movie, and in the movie, that character isn't married, so she takes her wedding ring off, and it's
thought
like
she
big
had
whoop.
given it
She's
up.
an actress. I think she.
thought because-
I think she mostly has.
Yeah.
But I suppose if like Steven Spielberg came along and was like, this is my modus operandi, like this
Like,
is
she
my
was a
this
good
is my
actress.
seminal
I'm
piece.
not gonna lie. In
Like,
Suits,
do you
she
want
was
in
really
on
good.
this? Yeah. Oh, she was fantastic.
Excellent, Suits.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think she will ever completely give it up, but I think she's probably going to be a lot more picky about
As
what
a
roles she chooses in the future.
as a law student, future lawyer, do you rate Suits? Like from
Oh, okay. I
from
get
a-
asked this a lot.
from a legal standpoint.
I get asked this a lot. For
Like,
starters,
from a realistic standpoint.
for starters, it's American law versus Australian law.
Okay, so
there's
it's different.
There's
Yeah.
differences.
Okay. But just like the general vibe of like how things are carried out and how like cases are dealt with. Is it is it up to scratch or is it
No, like he does live in this fantasy world of how like he can get his way whenever he wants.
Well, yeah,
right?
but
like
the entire
it's
premise
not.
of the show is he lied his way into.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, okay, you're talking about Mike rather than Harvey.
Well, I mean, just like the whole show in general, like the.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about law in general as
Like
shown through the show.
Yeah.
Like it's fantasized, very
Okay, yeah, I thought
fantasized.
so.
Granted, I'm just a law student. I haven't practiced yet. But there's I watched something a couple of months ago, and it was a guy who was breaking down why Suits does law wrong, and it's so true because if you remember
the law guy on YouTube,
yeah, law guy on YouTube,
he's really good.
he's good, but he's not a good lawyer.
What's his fucking channel called? Hang on.
Legal, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, yeah. I think like he's.
Oh, I love him as a YouTube content creator.
He's a good entertainer.
He's a good entertainer.
Yeah.
But I've heard stuff about his actual law practice.
I'm sure there's a reason he switched to YouTube.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no stiff to the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he broke down why law in that show sucks, and one of the glaring things that not anyone would ever pick up when it comes to like when you watch that first episode, and you just did the first episode, and there was like a bunch of problems already, but only like the really in tuned law students or lawyers would pick it up. It's when Mike's talking to Rachel about trying to find out. Trying to find loopholes around this case because I think the case he has is about it's the pro bono one or something where he has to meet the girl. Fuck, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched
Yeah.
But the point being is that he walks up to Rachel and he's just like, "Yo, hold on. So we got to find like a way that I can argue this." And then he just looks up and he goes, "But can we find precedent on it?" And it's just in that context of using the word precedent because everyone who doesn't know law knows the word precedent. They go, "Oh, precedent means like binding judgment. Like if we find that, that means we have the rule." Whereas in that context, he wasn't actually looking for precedent, right? Like he just used that word because it was like, oh my god, everyone understands precedent.
It's like someone shouting objection in a
someone like Ace. Well, not Ace Ventura. It's the fucking Japanese game. The
Oh,
lawyer. Oh my god, it's killing me. Anyway, his gimmick is objection or some shit like that.
Yeah, Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Phoenix Wright.
That's it.
Phoenix Wright.
God
I'm
damn.
working games. Yeah, like Phoenix Wright would just be like objection, right? And they'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, contempt of court, yada yada. You hear all these buzzwords, right? The buzzwords get thrown around. For the most part, Suits is good at abusing the usage of buzzwords.
Uh-huh.
It's just when they hit that one precedent in that first episode, all lawyers were just like, it's another one of those shows. Like you just hit precedent for the sake of precedent.
Okay.
Right?
all right. Anyway, Harry and
Wait, how the fuck did we get on the Suits? Oh, true.
Because-
All right.
because-
Meghan Markle, man.
Because your first thought when you think of Prince Harry is Meghan Markle.
I think it's
Is it-
I think
is it-
it's
is it not?
most blokes' thoughts
Is
these
it
days. to be
not?
honest.
No, not
What an
for me.
absolute pull. by the
My
way.
first thought when it comes to
Oh,
Prince Harry
he's
is
punching.
how
You reckon he's punching?
He's punching. He's punching real
Oh, he's-
hard.
I
with
don't
his
think
wife.
so.
Punching.
I don't think so.
Oh, mate, he's punching.
No.
Prince Harry's a pretty good looking.
No,
guy.
no, but then like,
Yeah, I know,
granted,
but-
prefaces,
but-
we're not
Mate,
stiff
mate,
with
have
Prince
you
Harry.
seen have you seen
Look at
him with his
look at
shirt off?
brother, and look
No,
at
I
his
was going to say,
dad.
yeah, I was just about to say, like, compare him to the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Prince Harry, my God.
Yeah, no, but you're looking.
Model.
Yeah,
You're looking
he's
down.
He's the least inbred looking of the
You're
lot.
looking at his. You're looking at his future though. Like
Yeah,
you're
that's
looking
true.
at him like
How
5
much
years.
older is his brother than him?
Like 5.
No, I think he got more of his mum's DNA. I think he's more.
I'm sure.
Diana
I'm sure he
than-
did, but like
than-
he's still gonna.
I don't know his dad's name.
I reckon those ears are just gonna pop out one day and just. He's,
But yeah, you're 100%
No,
right.
I think his
Megan,
brother cops
Gonna-
that.
gonna
He's
fly
his brother.
he's
Like
punching.
Dumbo.
He's
punching
got
above
to
his
be.
weight.
He's got to be. Oh,
And for those
God.
that don't understand the reference, we're not talking about him abusing his.
Oh, he's not physically
It's-
abusing Meghan Markle.
punching above your weight when it comes to girls is like you are dating out of your.
No,
Prince Harry
I'll let you go because
talking about Fortnite.
Yeah, talking about. Have you heard his comments on Fortnite?
No, I'm actually very interested to see what he
Okay,
has to say.
so like he was at I can't remember where he was at. He was at a thing for like kindergarten kids, and so like of course you got all the photos of him with the little babies, and like that's really cute.
Uh-huh.
And then he was talking to a bunch of parents, and like he thought that like Fortnite was like really addicting. And there's a lot of addictive elements to it, and people aren't
be
going out
more
to-
of a dad.
And he was calling for it. No, here's the thing: he was calling for it to be banned. He said, "I think Fortnite should be banned in this country
Really?
for that reason." Yeah. Now, of course, here's the thing, right? I'm actually not that bothered by Prince Harry's comments, and I'll get to that in a minute. What I'm more bothered by is the gaming community's reaction to it, because they're all just like, "Oh, fuck this guy," and then that was the end of it. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute, and people were like, oh, who cares? He's not a politician. Like, he never got elected. Everything got handed to him. I'm like, well, you're making good points, but that's not going to solve this problem. Like, Prince Harry holds a lot of influence over, like, really important people, right? And so does the whole royal family. And that's not just in England. That's here in Australia, too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, politicians here fucking masturbate to the Queen. So, you got to hold, they got influence. He's got influence. He's an important person. And he does a lot of good work, too. Like, the Invictus Games is fucking dope. It really is. And I think, we got to have a chat to Harry and just have a sit down with him and be like, mate, You know what I mean? Like,
Harry, if you're listening to the fucking
there's a lot of
podcast,
important
mate,
stuff here, man.
reach
somehow.
out, buddy.
Like let's have
Reach
it. Like
out.
let's have a chat about. You know what I mean? Like especially with
you
video
remember when
games
he came-
and their importance with help because he's big on like helping veterans.
Yeah.
And like video games are really really great with helping veterans. Like there are tons of charities that
Is he a
help
big
veterans.
gamer? Do we know that?
I don't think so.
All
But he
right.
must. But he must have interacted with people who are in the British Army because like. And also because of his work in like when he was deployed in the Middle East, he would have interacted with people from the U.S. military who do receive things from these charities. I think Operation Cargo Drop is one of them. They're called, and they send like game consoles and video games to like active duty troops in in war zones. And like, and it's really great for the troops and stuff like that. So like he must have interacted with people. I mean, if he ever talked to an American ever while he was in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever he was, he would know this. And so I really think what it comes down to, I don't think it's a rant against video games. I think it's specifically a rant against Fortnite.
Yeah, it's
Right?
definitely not a fight against
It's
video
very, and I think we brought up the word earlier, but it's of the zeitgeist right now.
Oh,
Is everyone?
boy.
Yeah, everybody likes to shit on Fortnite.
It is, yeah.
And to be fair, I like to shit on Fortnite. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just like that's the thing people do.
I've never played. a game
I've
of
actually
Fortnite.
never played Fortnite.
No.
Really? Oh no, I
Yeah.
have. I played a fair bit of it.
It's real.
Like, as the
colourful
gamer
and
that I- like,
sparkly
we are,
and
yeah, like-
no.
I'm just not big on that genre. That
The-
whole
the battle royale,
the battle royale
Yeah,
aspect. Of,
yeah,
like
yeah.
when it comes to games and why I like to play games is for the isolation aspect of it.
Single
I like
player,
single player narrative
actual
games.
campaigns.
I've never been big on the multiplayers.
Yeah.
Never. But like, but that's not where I imagine Prince Harry's coming from. He's
No.
not coming from the perspective that I hate this game because it's a fucking battle royale game.
Yeah, no.
He'd
What-
be hating it because of
because like 12-year-olds are playing it over doing their homework.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what he's worried.
And-
And that's a valid point of concern.
it's valid. But what the fuck? It's been valid for 40 years.
Yeah,
Like, it
but
hasn't really.
How many times we had this argument where like the solution is, hey parents, make some boundaries.
Yeah.
Be prepared to
Yeah.
piss your kids off because
Yeah.
they're not going to be happy about this, but they're going to thank you in the long run.
I've actually seen some really good like comments on that come out of like psychologists and stuff who are like, if you're worried about why your kids are playing video games for 16 hours a day, it's probably not because they're addicted to video games. Like there's something that they're trying to avoid and they're doing that instead.
Yeah.
Like, maybe instead of just pulling the cord and then being like, I don't like to do that because my kids freak out. It's like, well, why are your kids freaking out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a mental
I agree
health
with that,
issue,
yeah.
mental health problem here, then this young person needs help. And so really my biggest issue with what he said was that he said to ban it. And banning things has never solved a problem.
The minute
ever.
you say that, it gets more popular.
Yeah, that's all it does. And it just makes problems worse and it drives the problem underground.
Yeah, it does.
So like and especially when it comes to internet shit, like trying to ban things, it's like, bro, VPNs are a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, look at China and their whole like censorship thing. It's like you can still get Netflix in China, right?
I was just there.
It's like the it's like the Article 13 issue happening
Yeah.
in the UK right now. It's like, well, yeah, it sucks for those people in the UK without VPNs.
Yeah.
But everyone with a VPN,
It's not going to be a problem.
no, you
exactly.
just switch your thing
Right.
to America, you're all good.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like, and really like, honest, and because of that, and because he's an influential dude, and honestly, I like Prince Harry. I do. As much as you can like a guy whose ancestors enslaved your ancestors, I like him. Right. I mean, to be fair, my ancestors did try and kill his ancestors too. So there's a bit of back and forth.
Your ancestors are Scottish, right?
Yes. Sorry, I should preface that. Yes, I'm Scottish.
When
My
in
clan,
history did the English enslave the Scottish?
Have you not seen Braveheart?
Oh
you
my
not seen
God,
Braveheart?
Fuck.
the Battle of Culloden,
Yeah, okay,
the 45.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm really having a throw.
And then there's like there's like hundreds of years before that. I mean,
Yeah.
I would argue it started in 1066 when some dickhead from France came over to our island and was like, "Hey, this is ours now."
God, the French really haven't done well for themselves. Fucking plaintiff.
So so anyway, so there's a bit of back and forth there. But to be fair, my Clan McPherson was part of the Jacobite uprising that tried to like kill the royal family and instill one of the Stuarts. But then we were just like, yeah, nah, bro, and walked away. So anyway, that was a whole thing.
And
But I still like Prince Harry. I still think he's a top bloke, and I'd love to sit down and have a beer with him. Like, absolutely, I'd buy him a beer.
what do you reckon his favorite beer is?
Oh, you know what? I'll
If you
bet
had
you it's a lager.
to
I'll bet you it's a lager. He's
You
an
reckon he's a
Englishman. It's
lager?
going to be a
Yeah,
lager.
he's an Englishman.
It's going to be a lager and a shot of whiskey. That's what they like to do.
I hate the fucking notion that when foreigners come to Australia, the first beer they think of is Foster's.
Yeah.
That does annoy
It
me.
actually annoys
But that's because
me.
it was marketed overseas.
Oh,
with
but
fucking
it's
Paul
our
Hogan,
worst
man.
beer.
It's not really.
It's our worst
It-
beer.
it- it's a
not.
pretty atrocious beer.
It's not, it's. I had
If
it
that's
recently,
the
like in the
example
last
that we're
in the last
setting-
3 weeks, right?
Oh shit! All right.
I've had Foster's in the last 3 weeks. I went to a mate of mine's place. We did pub trivia. Went back to his place.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You want a
Were
beer?"
you out of grog? Like, was it
Well, no,
nothing else?
he just said, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have a beer."
No.
And he had
That's
and
not the point.
he had Foster's.
For me, that's the big
Oh,
thing.
that's the problem,
Who
yeah.
No, that's not a problem. Who in Australia, like, where do you buy Foster's? Let me tell you the story. The one and only time I've ever had Foster's was because I was going to a mate's place for Australia Day to listen to the Hot 100 thing. I can't remember what it was. And it was in North Melbourne. So I went to the bottle shop near the train station. I went, I'll pick up some beers on the way. I walk into the bottle shop, I go into the cold store to buy, a 6-pack. And on the shelf, they had literally 1 6-pack of tinnies of Foster's in the plastic ring things that kill fish. And I was just like, holy shit, like, I've never seen this ever. Yeah. Never seen it. And I bought it just for the fact of, like, I've never seen this ever in Australia, right? And it was a pretty fucking atrocious beer.
I think it's just more inoffensive than atrocious. I think it's just a pretty standard basic lager.
I'm willing to accept standard. All right, as in, like, it's literally the 5 out of 10.
It's pretty run.
Right?
It's pretty run of the mill.
But it works me that when it comes to the internationals, they
Do
think
you
of us.
really want us to market VB to international audience?
Honestly, yes. I'd actually rather us market Furfs.
Honestly, well, okay, Furphy's come along just in the last couple of years, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
It'll get there eventually.
Give them the push.
It'll get there
Give them the main
eventually.
event push.
But VB, every Yank that I have given VB to, it's like about a 70-30 hit rate that I actually enjoy it to not liking it.
Yeah,
Because their beers over there, like Samuel Adams, all their like main sort of beers that aren't like a Budweiser, like their second tier beers, they're all really hoppy.
Yeah.
Which adds a bitterness. And like VB, obviously the B stands for bitter. So they rate a VB. They don't rate Carlton Draft.
Fuck, I'm thirsty. Oh, no one rates a Carlton. We don't even rate. I don't rate a Carlton.
Carlton Draft off tap, only because it's like the first thing I bought.
All right, we should preface this all by saying anything off tap.
Well, yeah.
Anything
off tap is better than what it comes in a stubby or a glass.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, I just stopped drinking stubbies altogether. Tinnies. All the way.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a tinny.
No, it's been a while since I've had a tinny.
Stubbies, I'm okay
though.
with.
No,
Yeah,
stubbies, I stopped drinking them.
No, for me,
stubby over tinny. Why anyone that isn't Aussie listening to this podcast.
I'm saying,
wait, do you mean at the bar? Like you
No.
You
Like
won't order
if
a
I'm
So if
buying
you're
a
going
slab,
out to buy some,
if I'm buying a slab, I'm looking for tins rather than bottles.
Okay, no. See, I'm looking for bottles
I'm
rather
looking
than
for the
tins.
bottles. Yeah,
The only exception is the Furphy tins. There's something wrong with them.
but that's what I'm saying.
But
If
like
I'm going out to buy beer, I'm not going out to buy anything else than Furphy.
Well, if I'm going to get a slab of VB,
beer.
if I'm going for a slab of VB, I'm looking for the tins.
All right, no, but
100%.
See, I feel like now we've got to go on a beer by beer basis though, because like
It is very beer by beer.
Yeah,
Beer
because
by
when
beer
it comes
basis.
to buying slabs of beer, like I'll go for bottles because I'm either buying Furphy or I'm buying like Asahi Super Dry, which is just way better in a bottle than it is in a can.
I didn't even know it came in a can.
It does. It comes in fuck off huge cans. You can buy 1 liter cans of Asahi, and it has a built-in handle, and it's fucking amazing. And
You ever seen those,
you buy it for the gimmick though. You're not buying it because
I'm not buying it to enjoy
Yeah,
it.
have you
I'm not
seen
even buying Asahi to enjoy
Have you seen those
Asahi.
massive
for starters.
the Sapporo beer cans?
Yeah.
That are shaped like a pint,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
dope.
but they taste not great.
They don't. Not in a can.
Sapporo's not a good
But
tasting
I
beer.
bought those in Japan because they were $5 for a 4-pack.
Well,
of
yeah,
those.
exactly.
And I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
buy
I'm
them in
buying
Japan.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
fuck,
doing that.
why not?
Well, also Sapporo is just brewed better in Japan. There is some differences there.
Yeah, well, it's
same
like-
with Asahi. Like Asahi, it depends really on which one brews it. Like
I need Asahi from Japan.
like Japan.
You know what I fucking
ones from
miss?
Japan or Thailand are actually okay. The English brew is shithouse.
sure it is.
I miss
gotta check the bottle to
Myanmar
know.
beer.
Myanmar beer.
I miss Myanmar beer.
Yeah, you were rating that pretty
Oh,
heavily. when
dude,
you were
What were
I've
the-
had some beer in my time,
What was
and
the,
let me tell you,
What was the local drop? Do you
the
know
Myanmar beer.
That's what it was called.
That's what it was called.
That was the
Myanmar
Myanmar
beer.
beer, right? You don't talk about any other beer they have there. They have some other beers that are kind of hit and miss, but the Myanmar beer is one of the smoothest brews I've ever had.
No?
My God, I would honestly go back, and they were $1.
A buck.
They were $1 for 750 mils.
Fuck.
A fucking dollar.
That's a long neck.
Oh yeah, like a nice long neck though.
Fuck.
I'm
I'm all about that.
dude. Oh, seriously,
I'll have to try it.
I might have to. If I found some here, it wouldn't do it justice for me because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot. Whilst it is a smooth beer, the fact that I paid $1 for it really
Yeah.
helps in the sense
Yeah,
of
it really
why,
does.
why
You have to
it's
go
the
to, like,
greatest beer of all time.
Fuck, we just swing by 500 beers in Ackland Street and see if they've got it.
Oh, but I'm not willing to pay the absurd price because
Oh, no,
I
it's gonna
bet
be-
they'd fucking
jack it up.
slack you up with that.
Oh,
Like,
they would.
But it would probably be the cheapest of those, absurdly, because if they're importing it, like I think Myanmar probably sells it wholesale for like 50 cents. So like you could buy it, and then what you're paying then is import fees, and that's out the fucking wazoo. But that's it. You're just paying taxes at that point. You're not paying for the beer itself.
Myanmar beer. If we're ever up in Myanmar, lads, let me take you to some places.
All right, let's hit it up. Fucking Pint Party trip to Myanmar.
Yeah.
Done deal.
It just wouldn't be a Pint Party episode if we didn't discuss alcohol, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, that
it's
makes
the
sense.
name
We
of
have
the
to.
fucking.
Oh, we
bar.
absolutely have to. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and I've got a fucking backlog of stories about alcohol.
Oh, mate, don't we
Either-
all?
No, but I've got both sides of the bar. I've got either serving it or drinking it.
Oh,
That's true.
I've got the best ones the other side of the bar.
Yeah, I know you do. I've got some pretty fucking decent ones, but my ones behind the bar, there's some dickheads.
Yeah.
There's some absolute fucking knobheads in this world.
Oh,
I've had to
mate.
deal with a lot of them.
I would love to have seen you serve me
My
one
God.
day.
Can I ask
Have
you
I ever
guys
served
something?
you a beer?
No, you've never.
No, you-
served
no,
me a
you never
beer,
have.
you
Oh,
fuck.
because the only time we've ever been at my place of business together was us drinking.
Yeah.
For like my birthday and that.
Yeah, but you were behind. You're on our side of the
Yeah,
bar.
I know. So
Yeah.
I've never served you boys a beer. I've served most of my mates a beer at one point or another.
Do you find it weird to serve your mates a beer?
No, I've cut my brother off. Actually, okay. Okay.
Oh no, we got to hear this story.
Okay. This is the story. It was last spring carnival for the horse. So here in Melbourne, we have a big horse racing carnival. I don't care for it, but people like it. And I was working. It's like one of our busiest, like sort of 4-week periods of the year. It's always full on every weekend. There's some big race.
I don't think anyone in Melbourne gives a shit about it. We're just like, it's just an excuse for a big piss up. That's all it is.
And following that same suit, no, I argue no one cares about the actual cricket. They just go to the cricket to get absolutely pissed.
Yeah, it's more about
Just my
it's
opinion.
more about the it's more about the
I
party
could not
than it is
care
about
about
the game.
fucking test series.
Look, I do it for both.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
and
like-
to be fair,
I like
my
the
late
cricket.
grandmother would disagree with you. She would sit in front of her telly and get absolutely fucking munted, but at the same time, she's like, "Go Gilchrist, you mad bastard!"
I just
right?
don't
Like
get
she's
cricket.
going
I
ape.
just
She's
don't get
she's
cricket.
getting munted
I know.
and
Anyway,
and rooting
your
for the
brother.
team.
Anyway, so one of the big days of spring racing carnival. I'm working at where I work, and pretty busy night. Races have just finished. Probably about 400 in the venue, and I'm serving, and I look up, and there's this fucking cheesy grin staring back at me, and it's my little brother. And
Oh, not only is you your brother, you've cut off your little brother.
yeah, and like when I say little brother, it sounds really weird because like I'm like turning 29 this year. He's 28, so like 27. Yeah, 27. So like he's my little brother because he's my little brother.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
like he's still a 27-year-old man with like a proper job and a girlfriend and a house and shit. But there's the cheesiest fucking grin staring back at me, and I'm just like, oh fuck off! You've got to be kidding me, you little prick. So he's standing there looking at me, and like it's him and like 3 of his best mates. Right, they've all been given the weekend pass from their missus to just get as pissed as they want. Because like he came in about 2 weeks
It's
later.
the holy grail for the blokes.
He came in about 2 weeks later with his missus, and I told her this story. She didn't know. So anyway, he's there. He's off the leash with his mates. He's looking back at me. He's about sort of 4th in line. I'm just like, all right, this is gonna be fun. Fuck. He gets.
Did you plan to cut him off when you saw him
No,
in line?
no.
Okay.
I was going to wait until he spoke to me, and then I was going to cut him off. So he's looking at me. So I served a couple of people in front of him. Then it comes in like, "Hey, Corey, how you going?" He's like, race has been good. How you going, mate?" I'm just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." I don't want to do this. So
He's not even trying to be sober.
I
at
know,
that point.
I know.
Because he thinks he can get away with it.
Exactly.
That's the
He
best
thought
part.
he'd get
He's
away with it.
Oh,
Like-
my own brother.
And like usually, if it's like a regular Saturday night or something, our bar supervisor or the bar manager doesn't bother like serving with us because we got it covered. The bar, like they've got enough bartenders there to have it covered. But on a fairly busy night, either the supervisor or one of the bar managers will just jump in and just serve every second person, just take the load off us a little bit. So it's a busy night. The bar our supervisor's in the bar, serving next to me, and I was just like, I can't serve him. I can't do it. I have to cut him off. I have to cut off my own brother in front of his mates.
That's how you solidify the alpha move.
And you know what was happening 2 minutes before? Don't worry about this, lads.
he's-
I got this.
He's gonna.
We'll be right, mate.
He's gonna serve us. No worries.
I got it.
It's my brother, of course.
I got an inside man, mate.
And-
You'll be right.
And I just I looked at him, I looked at his mates, and just like, boys, I can't. have a water, and come back in 15. And he was just like,
You fucking killed him.
He got a little bit arky at me. I was like, oi, I'm going to tell Mum about this.
There it is. There it is.
Well, how does that go down. Hey, Mum, I got pissed as a maggot,
And got cut off.
and my brother wouldn't give me more
Ricki
beer.
cut me off.
Oh, yeah.
That's essentially what happened.
And
'cause,
your
like,
mum calls you the next
Yeah,
morning
no,
after
like-
you finish your shift. Ricki needs. What have you done?
Hey, she actually did call me like a week later and she was like, Corey rang me the other day saying something about you having to cut him off at the bar. I'm just like, yeah, I did. He was too pissed. He'd been at the race since 9 a.m. This was like midnight. So he'd been drinking for
And
at
you're
least...
justifying it to your mum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, she was just like, it's a very responsible decision. Good job.
Yeah, it's like you were being the nice, good older brother.
I was being the responsible one, and like it must have, because like I
Shocked the
the
world.
thing is, I got promoted like a week later, and I reckon like something she was like, if the bar manager had seen me serving my pissed brother, I probably wouldn't have got put up for the recommendation. So I'm like, well, I'll take it. I'll cop cutting off my brother so I can get promoted at work.
Yeah, for sure.
So now I'm in the position of like I come into the bar and make sure that all my bartenders aren't serving drunk cunts. But now, like, if my brother comes in and he's pissed again, I kind of have the power to just be like, yeah, look, serve him one, then cut him off. I can.
So now you have the redemption arc when it does happen
if
again.
he comes back in and he's pissed, I can just, like, my bartenders are trying to be like, no, he's too. I'm just like, just give him one and then fuck him off. I can do that now. So. But yeah, no, that was one of the most interesting nights behind the bar. And then, like I said, him and his girlfriend came in like 2 weeks later, with another like couple that they're friends with. And I told his missus the story, and she was just like, yeah, no, it sounds exactly like him. I'm like, oh no, yeah, it's just typical.
Runs in the blood.
And I was like, why did you give him the off the leash for the night? She's like, well, all the boys, they wanted to go out and do something. I just couldn't be bothered with him anymore, Ricki. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
You never hear about this in American soap operas, but when it comes to an Australian one, the fucking go-to story is, nah, I've just let my husband off the leash for the night.
I can't put up with him anymore.
I just can't put up with him anymore. And then the scene cuts immediately to the boys like, yeah, fellas, fucking we're on for it tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, but then you get to the next morning and it's like after the Battle of Verdun in World War One, right? And it's like they're lying down in the mud, surrounded
And then
in
all the
vomit and
girlfriends
shit.
walk in, and it's like, you boys, and
Yeah.
the movie cuts.
Yeah, because then you know they're good for another year and a half, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yep, there you go.
You've had your one night off.
You've had your one night off.
Yeah,
You're all right now.
Now you're back under heel for the next 18
Well,
months.
you're not going to want to do it anytime soon, are you?
No.
You need that to recover.
Oh, Jesus. Anything else? What do we got?
Part of tradition with podcasts that have been hosted by myself and David is we always talk about video game themed pornography. But unfortunately, the video game themed porn scene really hasn't like turned up anything good recently. Or at least nothing of like worthwhile value. Like we're not just talking about any old like plain old shit. We talk about like the high production value stuff.
Right. Because like
Right.
there's something to that where like because I love Pornhub, they not for,
That's my ringtone.
Please just get that cut out
that
for me.
soundbite.
Yeah.
But no,
That soundbite.
I love them for their commitment to just like trying to come across as like a legitimate business sometimes.
Mate, their
Have
commitment
you-
to the gimmick, I'll give
they
you
are.
that.
They are.
They
Have
have
you
a
noticed
commitment.
they've introduced a new beer?
They have a
What?
beer.
Oh no, maybe not a beer, but it's like an energy drink, Batorade.
No, that was an April
that's-
Fool's joke.
Oh, was it an April?
Yeah,
Damn
you
it.
dickhead.
What month are we in, mate? Never, ever,
That was
ever
so
believe
obvious.
anything around the 1st of April, man.
Bro,
don't do
bro,
it.
bro, if you scroll
Don't.
to the bottom of that
Fuck, I
of that
was so
press
on
release, it said it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But like when
Dude,
they
I had like 4 people message me and be like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and I'm like, "Oh, don't fuck with me." When it comes to April Fools, I am so on top of it. But
Yeah.
Then I got,
yeah,
You got worked,
done.
buddy.
I shouldn't have had
But
a wank that
when
day.
when they release their they're like very funny when they release like all their analytics of like what's been searched for.
Oh, dude.
but like it's a full like business.
love
like,
that shit.
Like model like
I love it.
Yeah, no, but,
Because if there's one thing I like with my porn, it's stats.
Yeah.
All right.
But-
like,
but one
I
of the
like
highest,
to know.
one of the highest search rates was I think-
Bukkake.
No, it was Fortnite porn.
It was.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
too.
And,
Yeah.
and at one point, Fortnite porn actually outsearched Fortnite.
Yeah, it did.
It
Yeah.
was like it was that prevalent on,
Yeah.
on Pornhub in the last 12 months
Yep.
that it outreached like just plain Fortnite searches.
Yeah. Well, the same thing happened with
Wow.
thing
Yeah.
happened with Overwatch
Yes.
the year it came out.
Yeah, like especially
Yeah.
Diva and Mercy. I
Yeah.
think were like the two,
And then
just top searches
yeah.
in general.
And for
on
me,
Pornhub.
that's what kicked off this whole thing was like because they made the Overwatch. Brazzers made an Overwatch themed porno.
Yeah.
And I just didn't rate it. I was like, mate, this is some terrible. Like this is Brazzers we're talking about. They're a multi-million-dollar company. Like and part of what they do is they try and put in high production values to justify to the consumer why you're paying for what is otherwise free pornography, right? And honestly,
Have you ever paid for porn?
No.
Hand it in.
I have.
Hang on. I know I'm a bit older than you guys. Are we talking purely digital or are we talking analog porn here? Like magazines?
Yeah,
we're
that's a good
talking
point.
digital.
Okay. I've paid for magazines back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
so did I.
counting Zoo. I'm not counting Playboy. Fuck, my mum used to buy them for me.
What? Why? Why?
Because I asked nicely and I did my chores.
You asked? God.
And I did my chores. Now.
Okay.
Love you, Mum.
Mama, clean my room. Can I go masturbate now?
Yes. She'd come home from shops and be like, here, David, here's your Zoo.
My brain.
Now, I've never paid for porn, and I believe no one should ever have to pay for porn.
There are some people who are listening right now
Jesus
who we've
Christ.
just doomed them with discovering they've got like the world's weirdest fetish. Like,
Anyway.
If any of my siblings are listening to this, don't pretend like you didn't know Mum bought me Zoo. All right. Anyway, don't pay for porn.
no, I disagree.
Now, you paid for porn.
I know. I think you should. You said you should never, and I think that's wrong.
Hold on. The only acceptable way I would ever accept paying for porn would be how we work with a Netflix structure, where one guy pays for Netflix and 4 other blokes jump on and watch it every now and then. One bloke pays for the Brazzers account.
Well, it's definitely not going to be me.
Pass off the.
What do you mean? So you're saying we should offset the cost by having someone else pay for it?
Yeah.
Like, but what about
Maybe round robin, right?
See, because here's the thing.
You
right?
pay for it this month.
I
pay
pay for the family Netflix account because my dad just outright refuses, and I think it's a bit of a dick move because he uses Netflix more than me, right? But like if you were going to say everybody goes in on one account, I'd be okay with that. If you're like we're going to divvy up the cost,
Well, you know what? Me
and
and
even
my
then,
roommate-
I reckon you should up the cost. You make Pornhub Premium $40 a month, and you say, but you get four logins.
Excuse me, it's $40 a month.
I don't want to share.
No, up it to $40 a month. Make it so you can get access for 4 logins, and everybody pays $10 each.
I don't need my 4 closest mates seeing my fucking search history.
Well,
that's the problem
other-
too.
I'm not doing that shit.
If Brazzers hides their internal searching,
and I don't want to see my 4 best mates search history either.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't want to know what gets them off.
actually, come on.
I mean, I'm a little bit curious.
Curiosity.
I'm a little bit
Curiosity.
curious.
Yeah,
But for the most part, I don't need to see.
I'm so fucking curious.
I don't need to see that really.
And if that's the way of finding out, I'm with it.
Okay, like I'm saying, like just getting back to like why the reasons I love Pornhub. They have actually created their own creator program now.
Yeah, and it's
So
great.
They have pre-roll ads and shit that actually pay the people because that Pornhub Originals thing, like they got
Pornhub.
community.
Yeah, the Pornhub community.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is excellent.
Those people are getting paid now.
Did you see the stat? How much they're getting paid?
How much?
It's like somewhere in the stupid 30,000 range. For
Well,
like,
I mean, you look at that.
That's because every video everybody puts out is like 1 million, 2 million view video. Like you're getting that money.
Your average creator on Pornhub is doing way better than your average creator on YouTube.
Yeah, the CPMs aren't any better.
Because guess
Why
what?
are we not
Guess what? People
producing
love
softcore
watching
porn?
other people fuck. They
Yeah.
don't like people unboxing things on YouTube.
I do like a good
I've-
Japanese girl
I've-
slapping her face in bread, though.
I've thought about like the potential of doing an entire YouTube channel that has nothing to do with porn, but just uploading it to Pornhub and seeing like
That's the
what-
thing. Have you not seen the wholesome porn guy?
Yeah, there's a wholesome
Oh, no,
porn
no,
guy.
but that is related to porn.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he
I'm
uses
talking about
porn
just
subtitles.
just like-
and,
Okay.
Just making a channel
All right, hang on. I want to make
that would be otherwise perfect
right.
on YouTube,
Ricki.
and then just putting it on Pornhub.
Rick, I'm going to say something that's a little bit personal right now.
Okay.
But like, I did watch a cam girl do a let's play video on Pornhub once.
Okay.
Like, and it wasn't even pornography. It was just like
So she kept her top on?
she kept her top on and everything,
Okay.
and
Wait.
she was playing.
and
I
you were
think
on Pornhub watching that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she
it was part of her Pornhub channel. Like,
But she is
she had
otherwise-
porn video.
Oh, okay.
Mario
So she
Let's
actually
Play.
has taken dick before. Okay.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like this is a completely
This is
fresh.
She is
clean-
she is an adult performer,
Like-
and she was also
And she
doing.
just felt
yeah.
like one day, like I'm
She-
just gonna go out and
straight
play some
up.
fucking
Yeah.
Fortnite.
She straight up said that. She was like, you know what, I feel like like doing a let's play, and then she did, and it was good. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Breath of the Wild.
Content creators are content creators. Doesn't matter what content they create, in
You know
my
what I
opinion.
mean?
you
Like,
know?
yeah, so like that's
Creativity
a
is
thing. Yeah, that's being done, and I think that's fine. Like, I think that's great. But again, I think people should be paying for pornography in one way or another.
You know what? I'm willing to
here's the
do-
thing, right? Sex work is real work, right?
It is.
And
Look,
you
I'm not
deserve to get paid for
I'm
it.
not stiffing the work. I'm not stiffing the work.
But you
alright?
kind of are by saying nobody should pay for
okay,
it.
no. I reiterate. I'm okay with the concept of paying for porn, but just not for myself. I would do it if we were to jump in as a group, like Netflix. All of us go for the premium package. Every now and then, we all chip in. All right, we all chip in and we all get access. Community effort. I'm with the community effort. It's like how me and my roommate do it when we pay for like Netflix and Stan. We just chuck it up. We should set up a joint account, right? We'll set up a joint porn account, and everyone just chucks in money, and we just subscribe to all the services, and we just pass off the password.
I don't jack off that often.
It's
too much of a.
I feel like you can justify an expense if you're doing it at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week.
But also at the
okay,
same time, like
fair
in a
enough.
joint account like that, I don't feel like I'd use all the services. Like you'd probably want to subscribe to like, Granny's Take It by BigCock.com, and I'd be like, well, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
That's why
with enough
That's why they
economies of
package
scale.
all the porn stuff together, so you get what you want, and then you get some other stuff that you might want to watch down the line.
Economies of scale. The more people we have signed up to this joint account network, more things we can sign up to. Better variety, same amount of cost. All right, economies of scale. Business. Business.
Still, I don't know. I still feel good that like at least like the creators are now getting money from Pornhub. They got the pre-roll ads.
Yeah,
They've got the premium
sure.
subscription. You can leave tips now. Like the
Would you ever do a porn?
would I ever do a porn?
Yeah. Someone comes up to you, walks like this. Like
So
let's,
are you
let's
saying,
follow a classic porn story
Are you
arc.
saying a sex video that other people will see?
Yes.
Or a sex video for myself?
No, someone will say it. You know what? Let's just say you make one that goes on the Pornhub. Would you ever act? Okay, 2 questions. Would you ever actively go out and make one to upload to Pornhub?
I would just be POV guy. I would just be a penis and a torso holding the camera. I would happily do that. I would happily do that.
If I'm going to do a porn, I'm going to do production.
You want to
quality.
see your face in it?
I want to see. I want production. No, I want story.
You
know what?
story?
Actually,
I can create story
David,
being
yeah.
POV guy. I can
wanna-
create story being POV guy.
I want a screenwriter to come in.
I can walk in on my stepsister or something like that.
I want 30 to 35
Fucking
minutes.
weird as shit.
Right?
That
Give me
fucking
15
blew
minutes
up.
of promo work. All right, where we set up the story arc. I'm not a pizza guy. I'm going to think of something a little bit more original than that.
You're the
right?
you're the fucking. Oh, okay. No. Let's.
No, you know
let's
what?
just-
You're
let's
the
just run it.
carpenter.
No.
Oh, hold on. Ricky's
No.
excited.
You're the guy from the NBN here to upgrade her wireless.
Oh, why has it not been done yet?
Yo, I actually want to make that. Holy shit.
You are here from Telstra.
That's
Wait, hang
fucking
on.
brilliant.
We need a porn pun telecommunication.
Damn
company
it!
name.
True fuck.
Coctus.
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 I'm here from Coctus
Fuck.
to upgrade you to the NBN. Nice big knob. Wait, knob start with a K, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fiber to knob.
Fiber to orifice.
Fiber to orifice. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. Fiber orifice. Something like that.
And then what does she say?
There's
Like,
puns
I
here.
didn't sign up to
Fiber to anus.
Oh.
Fiber to anus. The FTA. All right.
the FTA.
Yep. It's like shit.
And she's fighting back like, I didn't sign up to Coctus.
I didn't sign up to Coctus. I'm with.
And then there's another porn.
No.
And then we need a second one.
No. I didn't sign up to Coctus. I'm with Virgin. He's like, not anymore.
Oh!
Done.
Cue the music.
Done. End the podcast.
Cue the music. Clothes come off. Let's go.
End the podcast. We've done it.
There's oh my, and that's such an Australian thing too because fuck the NBN.
Oh, literally.
That's what we call it.
Fuck the NBN. Yes. Oh my god.
Cut the podcast there. We're done.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Oh, I actually just
Ricky's down.
I actually just fell off my chair.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
All right, so that's been Pint
But
Party.
to answer your question, Dave, because would I do it? Because I'm a large fat man. Like, would I do it? I've considered it. I've thought about it. Because for me, it's like I'm a media guy, and I just like making film. It's like for me,
Aside from the
pornography is just
obvious,
another kind of film.
There is a fetish for everybody.
There is a fetish for it, but honestly, for me,
if you are naked on the internet,
Yeah.
someone out there will like
that being said, I wouldn't do it for like I'd do it. You'd have to come at me with a good amount of money, right, to do it. But that being said, though, if you were just like, hey, I'll give you $100 to film it, or I'll give you $100 to edit it, I'll do that.
aside from the
Actually,
obvious,
what I've always wanted to do is direct. I've always wanted to direct
we
an
all want
adult
to have
film.
a part in this. I want to be the actor.
I really do want to like experience that type of filmmaking.
Aside from the obvious of like your family, you don't want your family to see it.
Yeah, duh.
Who don't you actually want to see it? Take away the family aspect.
I don't give a shit if my family sees it.
Well, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Because like I don't know, like I was raised by hippies. I just like Dad. I was in an adult film.
I would
like,
be 100% okay with
I'm
all
just
my
like
mates seeing it.
I'd inform him and then like let him make the choice. If you want to see it, Dad, you can. But there's there's my cock and balls
I would-
in 4K. Like
I would
just telling
openly
you.
promote it to my mates. I'd be like, boys, I'm on Pornhub. Go have a sus. All right. Obviously, I wouldn't
Yeah,
want
you
my
would,
family.
you would,
I would.
actually.
I wouldn't promote it to my family, but if they found it, I wouldn't be against it. I'd just be like, look, things happen. I'm trying to think who I don't really want to see it. I don't want JJ to see it.
Fair.
Yeah,
By
just
the way,
right there.
just for people at home, JJ is one of our friends, and she will make an appearance on the podcast. Probably either the next episode or the episode after. It's like we kind of rotate around.
Yeah, I'd hate for her to see it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Can't think of anyone else right now.
She's very much your little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate for my other little sisters to watch it too.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I feel like
just be
she counts as family. Like I don't think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's worth like
Yeah, no, definitely
separating.
But all my mates would see it. In fact, anything I'd shoot it and then just tell them right away, and I'd be like, "Boys, coming out in about a monthth's time." Let me tell you, I'll see the backside of my ass.
Let me ask you this though. Like, how would you feel about your mates jacking off to it?
Oh my God. Yeah, I would take it as actually like a sign of applause. Are you kidding me? That's achievement.
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Just like one of them messages me and be like, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. All cards on the table. I wanked to your porn." I'll be like,
brilliant.
"Thank you."
That's what it's for.
Now go listen to my podcast as well. It's essentially the same thing.
So it's like if you like let's say
subscribe to my content
for you. Okay, so for you like masturbation to completion. For a for a porno is the equivalent of like going to like a Hollywood theater premiere and then at the end of the movie standing up and applauding.
Yeah,
like it's
the equivalent of someone listening to my podcast and going, "Yeah, dude, I really liked your podcast." I'm like, "Thanks, dude. Leave a like and subscription as well." Yeah,
yeah.
Subscribe to me.
Yeah, dope.
If I do porn, if I do podcasts, if I do YouTube,
no, I get behind that.
Yeah,
I rate that.
Respect the content I create. All right.
Yeah, totally. And I think with
but
that,
in saying that, I'm totally going to do porn anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I just wrote the best porno ever. So
you did. You absolutely did.
I'm pretty happy.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to end it here.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God. Yeah. For sure.
We're done.
Yeah, I think that's us done.
That's
by the way, Dave
covered a lot.
Dave, hotguysfuck.com. That's totally like if you want to get into porn, that's for you.
Compliments.
Because that's your gimmick. Anyway, with that, just want to say like thank you everybody for listening. If you liked what you heard today, just tell a friend about it. Say hey, you should totally suss this podcast, and then tell them to subscribe. And I think with that, that'll do it. I'm John McLeish,
David Yang,
Ricki Nades,
and this has been Pint Party.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't forget cheers.
This podcast is part of the Hartefact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hartefactstudios.com.au.